Have you ever felt the heaviness of striving, working harder than anyone around you, yet still finding yourself gasping for breath at the end of each month? Have you ever lain awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why, despite your constant effort, your bills still pile high and your dreams seem farther away than ever? Imagine a young woman named Clara. She rises each morning at 5 o'clock, the dark sky still pressing against her window, her body weary, but her mind racing with urgency. She hurries through a quick breakfast, catches the early train, and works 12-hour shifts in a job that drains her spirit. And yet, when payday comes, her paycheck slips through her fingers like sand. Rent, groceries, credit card, interest gone. She smiles politely to her colleagues, but in her heart, she feels the sting of quiet despair. I work so hard. Why is it never enough? Clara is not alone. Perhaps you too have known the spinning wheel of endless labor, where no matter how fast you run, you never arrive. Like a hamster on a wheel, your feet pound your chest, heaves, your effort is constant, and yet you remain in the same place. This is the great misconception that money is won only by effort, by toil, by sheer willpower. We are taught from childhood that prosperity is a race to be won, a ladder to be climbed, a battlefield to be conquered. We are told, if you just hustle harder, if you just outwork the rest, success will be yours. But how many hustlers collapse under exhaustion? How many workers spend a lifetime in labor only to find that true freedom has eluded them? Pause with me, reflect. Is this truly the law of life, that the strongest shoulders must always bear the heaviest burdens, and that joy belongs only to those who grind themselves into dust? What if this belief is the very chain that binds? What if the belief in hustle and luck, in the fickle hands of external control, is the veil that covers your true inheritance? For many, money is seen as luck. Some are born into it, they whisper. Some stumble upon it, others win the lottery. But what a cruel and narrow thought. If prosperity were merely the whim of chance, then why would the earth pulse with abundance at every turn, the rivers flowing ceaselessly, the trees bearing fruit in their seasons, the sun rising unfailingly each day? The universe does not operate by luck. It operates by law. And yet others cling to the idol of labor. They bow to the god of endless work, believing sweat is the currency of blessing. But if effort alone were the source of wealth, then surely the hardest workers, those who toil in fields, who lift stones, who strain every muscle, would be the richest among us. Yet too often, they are the poorest, bound by invisible cords of lack. Still, others point outward, declaring, the economy controls me. The government decides my fate. The rich have built walls I cannot cross. And so they surrender, giving their power away to external rulers, never realizing that true power lies not in policies nor systems, but in alignment with divine law. This is the trap. This is the hamster wheel of human belief. And like Clara, many live entire lives within its spinning cage, never daring to question whether the wheel itself was an illusion. But now let us pause together. Take a breath. Feel the question echo within you. What if money has never been about effort, but about alignment? Imagine standing beside a river. Its waters move gracefully, effortlessly, carrying leaves, twigs, even whole branches downstream without struggle. The river does not strain. The river does not hustle. It flows. It yields to gravity and to its course, and in that yielding, it holds unstoppable power. Now imagine stepping off the hamster wheel, your frantic legs stilling your chest, no longer heaving. You turn, and instead of an endless wheel, you see before you that great river. You place one foot in, then another, and suddenly the current carries you. You are no longer running, you are flowing. This is the invitation of prosperity. Not strain, but surrender. Not luck, but law. Not toil, but alignment. The great misconception has stolen peace from countless hearts. It has convinced the weary that life is a cruel contest, that joy is reserved for the chosen few. But today, you are invited to unmask this lie. Whisper to yourself now, I step off the wheel. I enter the river. And as you speak, feel the shift. For the moment, you question the misconception. The moment you dare to believe in a different law, the chains begin to loosen. Dear friend, you were never meant to live in fear of bills and slavery to hours and worship of effort. You were born to flow with divine abundance as naturally as the rivers run and the stars shine. But before we step deeper into this truth, I invite you to pause. Let these words settle into the soil of your heart. Close your eyes if you wish, breathe deeply, and feel the possibility opening before you. Because the greatest secret is this: prosperity was never outside of you. It was always within, waiting for you to awaken. Subscribe to stay updated with new relaxing videos and support this channel so we can continue creating peaceful content to help you rest and recharge. Have you ever noticed how the world speaks of money in extremes? Some whisper that it is dangerous, corrupting the root of all evil. Others exalt it as the highest good, the proof of success, the very meaning of achievement. Between these two poles, countless hearts are left confused, unsure whether to desire money to fear it or to secretly crave what they are too ashamed to name. But pause for a moment and listen not to the voices of the world, but to the still small voice of truth. Money is neither saint nor sinner. Money is not good, and money is not evil. Money is spiritual substance. Let those words wash over you. Spiritual substance, not cold coins, not lifeless paper, but substance living, flowing, responsive. Just as clay awaits the touch of the potter, just as water takes the shape of the vessel that holds it, so does money respond to the form given by your inner life. Imagine a potter at her wheel. Before her rests a lump of clay, unformed, formless, brimming with possibility. In her hands, that clay may become a vessel for water, a lamp to hold fire, a plate to carry nourishment. The clay itself is neutral. It does not choose. It responds. It yields to the hands that shape it. So too is money. It is substance waiting for the mold of your belief, your word, your vibration. It does not choose, it responds. To the fearful, it mirrors fear. To the generous, it flows with generosity. To the one who declares, I am richly supplied, it appears as supply. To the one who sighs, I never have enough, it echoes back lack. Let us linger on this truth. Money is obedient. It does not rule, it serves. It listens quietly, faithfully to the inner decree of your spirit. Have you not seen this in life? Two people may stand side by side, working in the same job, earning the same salary, yet their lives tell different stories. One is always short, always grasping, always fearful of the next bill. The other lives in ease, bills, paid opportunities, opening doors, appearing as if by unseen hand. The difference is not in effort nor in paycheck, it is in vibration, the invisible song of belief they hum into the universe each day. When you see money as mere metal or paper, you strip it of its essence. But when you awaken to the truth that it is substance, you step into your rightful place as co-creator. You realize that your inner state is the mold and money, like clay, must take its form. Picture water for a moment. Pour it into a round cup and it becomes round. Pour it into a square jar and it becomes square. Pour it upon the earth and it finds the lowest path, filling every crevice, moving with grace. Water does not resist the shape, it becomes the shape. So too, money. Pour it into the mold of fear and it becomes shortage. Pour it into the mold of faith and it becomes overflow. Pour it into the mold of resentment and it twists into bitterness. Pour it into the mold of gratitude and it multiplies with joy. And here lies the secret so many miss. It is not effort that commands substance, it is vibration. You may toil, strain sweat, and still money slips through your hands like water through clenched fists. But the moment you open your palm in faith, money responds. For substance does not obey effort, it obeys alignment. Pause here with me. Breathe deeply. Place your hand upon your heart. Whisper softly, "Money is divine substance flowing freely to me." Again, let the words move through you, not as wish, but as truth. Money is divine substance flowing freely to me. Feel how your body relaxes as you speak. Feel the chains of fear loosen, if only a little. The words are the mold, and already the substance listens. There was once a man named Elias. He worked as a carpenter, skilled with wood, but forever worried about money. He would say, "Money slips away. I cannot keep it." And indeed, whenever he was paid, unexpected expenses came, tools broke, sickness struck. One day, an elder in his village spoke to him. "You are molding your substance with your words. Speak lack, and lack obeys. Speak supply, and supply obeys." At first, Elias scoffed, but in his heart, desperation made him try. Each morning he rose, and though his purse was nearly empty, he declared aloud, "Money is divine substance flowing freely to me. I am richly supplied." Days passed, and he kept declaring. Weeks passed, and small shifts appeared. A neighbor offered him more work, a merchant paid him early, a broken tool was replaced as a gift. And as months flowed, Elias's purse began to stay full, not by strain, but by unseen orchestration. The clay had reshaped the water, had taken new form. Beloved, the truth that transformed Elias is the same truth waiting for you. Money is substance. It does not resist you. It obeys you. It listens not to your effort, but to your vibration. The world may laugh at this truth. The world may cling to its idol of struggle. But you hearing these words are invited to step beyond the old belief. For what if the river of substance has always been flowing, waiting for you to simply speak, to simply believe? Close your eyes now and picture a vast ocean of shimmering golden light. This is substance, limitless, boundless, eternal. See yourself standing at its shore, a vessel in your hand. The vessel is your word, your belief. If your vessel is small, only a trickle enters. If your vessel is cracked with doubt, the substance leaks away. But if your vessel is wide whole and lifted in faith, the ocean pours in without measure. Now whisper with me not once, but 3 times, shaping your vessel with sound. Money is divine substance flowing freely to me. Money is divine substance flowing freely to me. Money is divine substance flowing freely to me. And so it is. For if money is substance, then every word you speak is the mold of your wealth. If money is spiritual substance, then the word is the law that shapes it. Every word you speak is a seed. Every declaration is a decree. Substance takes its mold from sound. When you say, "I am broke," you plant lack. When you say, I am richly supplied, you plant abundance. The soil of the universe does not argue, it grows what is sown. Think of a farmer. He cannot plant thorns and expect roses. He cannot scatter weeds and demand wheat. In the same way, you cannot speak shortage and reap prosperity. Your tongue is the plow. Your words are the seeds. Your life is the harvest. Consider two voices. One says daily, I never have enough. Money goes too fast. And indeed, bills rise, payments press, doors close. Another says, I am richly supplied. Money comes in expected and unexpected ways. And indeed, opportunities appear. Supply meets every need, doors open. The difference lies not in effort, but in decree. Pause now. Feel the truth. Your tongue is not just flesh, it is law. Every careless phrase carries power. To say I can't afford it is to chain yourself. To say, the Lord is my supply, all my needs are met, is to open the floodgates of substance. The word is not empty sound, it is command, it is cause. And as surely as the echo returns from the mountain, so does every word return as form. Whisper now with faith, I speak only words of abundance. My supply is sure, my harvest is rich. And remember, the law is not delayed. The seed will grow. What you decree today, you will walk in tomorrow. Speak wisely, speak boldly, speak abundance. Lack is not only in the purse, it begins in the mind. Many live under subconscious patterns inherited from parents' culture and generations before them. Words spoken long ago still echo today. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Rich people are greedy. These phrases, repeated like chants, become invisible chains. Think of a family where every dinner table carried the same refrain, we never have enough. Children grow, carry those words, and unknowingly build the same life. The pattern repeats not by fate, but by programming. Lack is taught, absorbed, and silently enforced. But here is the truth. Chains can be broken. The mind that accepted these beliefs can choose again. Just as you change the channel on a radio, you can switch the frequency of your thoughts. When lack whispers, there is never enough, you can answer, divine substance supplies me richly. When fear says, I will lose everything, you can declare, infinite abundance sustains me. The substitution is instant. The old chain weakens. The vibration shifts. Imagine a heavy weight falling away as you speak new words. The prison door of inherited belief swings open. Generational lack ends with you. You step forward free. Pause and affirm, I cut the chain of lack. I walk in divine supply. I cut the chain of lack. I walk in divine supply. I cut the chain of lack. I walk in divine supply. Each declaration severs what once bound you. The heavy tones of fear dissolve. The lighter notes of freedom rise. And once the chains are broken, the true journey begins into alignment with divine law. If you're ready to break inherited money beliefs, say I cut the chain in the comments. The moment the chains fall, a new sound is heard, the call to transformation. It is not the whisper of the world, but the voice of spirit saying, you are called, you are chosen, you are ready. This journey is more than learning principles. It is activation. There are 7 laws of prosperity waiting to be revealed, but to walk them is not mere study. It is obedience, rhythm, and power spoken aloud. Picture yourself standing before a temple. Its doors are tall, carved with symbols of light. Inside each chamber holds a law, a key to demonstration. To step forward is to step into destiny. The old life of striving lies behind. The sacred journey of alignment lies ahead. You are not here by chance. You are summoned. Hear it repeated like a drumbeat. You are called. You are chosen. You are ready. This is the hero's path, not of battle, but of surrender. Not of struggle, but of divine flow. You are no longer the seeker on the hamster wheel. You are the initiate entering the temple of wealth. Pause, bow inwardly, and feel the solemnity of this moment. The path awaits. The chamber doors open. The voice within declares, now we step into the chamber of divine laws. Imagine with me a vast, golden temple shimmering under the light of a morning sun. Its walls are not stone, but living radiance, each brick formed by the words of prophets, mystics, and ordinary seekers who dared to believe in the unseen. Before us stand 7 gates tall and resplendent, each one inscribed with a divine law of prosperity. These are not barriers, but passageways, each a doorway into deeper abundance, waiting for us to walk through with reverence and courage. I call them the 7 gates of prosperity because each law is like an entrance to a new chamber of wealth, joy, and divine alignment. And as we step through one by one, we move from vague wishing into powerful calling, from scattered attempts into rhythmic certainty, from outer struggle into inner mastery. Now, before we walk forward, let us understand why these gates exist. Many people knock on the doors of prosperity, yet they remain outside because they do not approach with clarity. They try one affirmation here, one visualization there, yet never align their life with the full harmony of divine law. It is like playing one note of a song expecting to hear the orchestra. But the orchestra only awakens when all the instruments join in unity. These 7 laws are not optional, they are the living foundation of prosperity. They are timeless, as true for a merchant in ancient Babylon as for a modern entrepreneur today. And once you align with them, money is no longer a pursuit, it becomes your companion answering when you call. Picture the gates now. The first gate gleams with sharp inscriptions of words. This is the law of the word, reminding us that every decree shapes reality. The second gate flows with living water, ever moving. This is the law of circulation, teaching that money must move to live. The third gate glows with dreamlike murals. This is the law of assumption, showing us how to live already clothed in wealth. The fourth gate hums with laughter and song. This is the law of tithing, with the word revealing the rhythm of giving and receiving. The fifth gate resounds like a tuning fork. This is the law of agreement, the harmony of thought and word united. The sixth gate stands strong and tall like a mirror. This is the law of identity, declaring that wealth rests upon who we are, not merely what we do. And finally, the seventh gate beats with the steady rhythm of a drum. This is the law of obedience, the discipline of daily practice, the heartbeat of all prosperity. Do you feel the anticipation rising? Each gate holds a revelation, each law a treasure. These are not dusty philosophies to be studied at a distance. They are living, breathing practices waiting to be spoken, enacted, embodied. As we prepare to walk forward, pause for a moment. Close your eyes if you wish. Breathe in. See yourself standing before the first gate. Your hands touch the golden door, warm with divine energy. You are ready. Prosperity is not a random gift. It is not luck nor the fickle favor of chance. It is law. Just as gravity pulls a stone downward, the divine laws of prosperity pull wealth, opportunity, and abundance into your life when you align with them. But unlike gravity, which acts upon all regardless of belief, these laws require conscious agreement. You must choose to step through the gates. And so we begin, slowly, reverently. With each step, your old limitations fall away. With each gate, you move closer to your divine inheritance. First, we shall approach the gate of the Word, for every journey begins with the voice. Just as in the beginning, the universe was spoken into existence, so too must you learn to speak your world of wealth into form. Let us walk through the first gate. We stand before the first gate of prosperity, shimmering with inscriptions like living fire. The letters pulse alive as though they are not written but breathed. This is the law of the Word, the law that declares your decree is your destiny. The ancients knew this truth. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Creation begins not with effort, not with labor, but with the spoken decree. The invisible takes shape the moment the word is released. Florence Scovel Shinn called words instruments of power. She warned that careless speech is like scattering seeds on thorny ground, while conscious decree plants gardens of gold. Think of it this way: words are the addresses on your letters to the universe. If you speak vaguely, your order floats in limbo, never delivered. But when you speak clearly with faith, heaven's postmaster delivers with precision. To say, "I want more money," is like writing, "Send me something somewhere someday." But to declare, "I call $10,000 to me before September 30th, that is a letter with a name, an address, and a delivery date. Words are sharper than chisels. They cut grooves into the unseen, and reality flows into those grooves. When your words are scattered, your life is scattered. When your words are precise, your life is precise. Pause with me here. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe in deeply. Speak this with me. I call $10,000 to me before September 30th. I command it, I accept it, I prepare for it. By divine law, it is mine. Did you feel the vibration? That was not imagination. That was alignment. Every decree you make shifts the atmosphere, for words are not sounds alone. They are spiritual forces clothed in sound. Let me tell you a story. A woman once came to me frantic. She needed money quickly. She said, "I'm desperate. I don't know what to do." I told her gently, "Your words are your problem. You are decreeing desperation." Together, we shifted her speech. Instead of repeating, "I don't know what to do," she began saying, "The way is clear. Money is flowing. The door is open." Within 3 days, an unexpected client appeared, paying her exactly what she had needed. Nothing magical, nothing coincidental, simply the law responding to the word. But there is a caution here. Many unknowingly block prosperity with careless speech. They say, "I can't afford it. I'm always broke. That will never happen for me." And the universe, in partial obedience, responds, "So be it." The law of the word does not discern between blessing and curse. It magnifies whatever is spoken with emotion. That is why obedience to this law requires vigilance. Imagine your words as royal decrees, every phrase sent forth by a king or queen, enforced without question. Would you ever say, "I decree lack, I decree delay"? Of course not, yet unconsciously many do so daily. The law of the word calls us to rise into awareness. Every word must match the wealth we desire. So, how do we practice this law? Let me give you a rhythm. Each morning upon waking, declare 3 sentences aloud. Keep them simple, sharp, and certain. Today, money hears my voice. I decree abundance into my path. Every word I speak is fertile with prosperity. Do this for 7 mornings, and you will notice a shift not only in your outer world, but in your inner posture. You will stand taller, speak firmer, walk with certainty. Now let us go deeper still. Words not only call money, they also cleanse the inner temple. Some of you may carry years of speaking lack. Do not be discouraged. The word also heals. Say with me now, I erase every idle word of lack. I forgive every decree of fear. I write over them with words of wealth. Feel the cleansing. This is not metaphor, it is spiritual surgery. The law of the word is both a scalpel and a brush, cutting away old decrees and painting new futures. Let me anchor this with a metaphor. Imagine a great sculptor before a block of marble. With each strike of the chisel, the hidden figure emerges. Your words are those strikes. Each decree chips away the stone of limitation until the form of your wealth stands clear. Speak faithfully, and soon you will see what you once only imagined. Now, let us return to the gate. The first gate of prosperity swings open with a sound like thunder and song combined. You step through, and the atmosphere shifts. You are no longer a beggar of circumstance. You are a creator by decree. Every word is now an act of wealth. Remember, this silence holds potential, but the spoken word releases power. Never keep your wealth unspoken. Call it, name it, command it. For money is not deaf, it listens for its name. As we move forward, you will see how this first law sets the tone for all the others. Circulation, assumption, agreement, each rests upon the foundation of the word. For without decree, there is no activation. And so we step onward, leaving the first gate behind us. Ahead, we hear the rushing of water, the sound of movement, of flow. This is the second gate, the law of circulation. Let us walk forward. We have passed through the first gate, the gate of the word, and already the air feels different. Now before us stands the second gate of prosperity, and it is unlike anything we have seen. It is not solid, but fluid, made of cascading streams of light that flow without end. You hear the sound of rushing water, constant, musical, alive. This is the law of circulation. Money must move, or it dies. Consider this water kept in a sealed jar becomes stagnant, but water allowed to flow remains fresh. Money is no different. It is not a stone to be clutched. It is a river to be released and received. Those who hoard in fear cut themselves off from flow, while those who circulate with faith discover that money returns multiplied. Florence Scovel Shinn often said giving opens the way for receiving. She meant not only the tithe, but every generous act, every conscious release. When you spend with joy, bless the money as it leaves, I release and multiply. In doing so, you send it out like a bird, certain it will return with companions. Let me give you an image. Imagine a golden fountain in the center of a great plaza. The water shoots upward, sparkling in the sunlight, and cascades down into a wide basin. Now picture someone trying to stop the flow by holding their hands tightly over the fountain's spout. What happens? The water cannot rise. It sprays back in their face, chaotic, wasted. But when the spout is free, the fountain continues endlessly. So it is with money. Fear clutches and blocks. Faith releases and multiplies. I recall a man who once told me, I can't give. I barely have enough as it is. His fear of release kept him in lack for years. Then one day in desperation, he tried an experiment. He gave a small amount, not much, but with joy, and he spoke the decree, as I release, so I increase. Within weeks, new opportunities opened. He had not lost anything. He had activated circulation. This law is especially crucial in times of economic uncertainty. When fear grips the world, many shrink back, clutching their resources. But the wise know this is the very moment to circulate. The more the flow seems to constrict, the more you must release. Why? Because circulation proves to the universe that you trust its abundance, not the world's limitations. Let us practice together. Imagine holding a bill in your hand. See it clearly. Now picture yourself releasing it, not in loss, but in faith. As it leaves your hand, you say, I release and multiply. I give and I receive. Money is flowing through me, never away from me. Feel the shift. That release is not loss, it is participation in the eternal current of wealth. There's a rhythm to circulation, like breathing. You inhale, you exhale. Both are necessary. Try holding your breath, you cannot. Try only exhaling, you cannot. Money too must breathe. Receiving without giving chokes the flow. Giving without receiving weakens the body. But together in balance, circulation sustains life. Now let me tell you a story of a woman named Claire. She was drowning in debt, overwhelmed, fearful. One day, instead of paying her bills with resentment, she decided to bless them. With every check she wrote, she declared, I release this payment with joy. It returns to me multiplied. Slowly but surely, her debts cleared. Not because of some miracle windfall, but because she shifted from fear to circulation. Her words turned payment into participation in the flow of wealth. Let us pause here for a practice you can adopt. Each time you spend money, whether on a bill, a meal, or a gift, say aloud or silently, this money returns to me multiplied. I release it into circulation. Do this faithfully for 30 days and watch the river of money grow. Now some may ask, but what if I give and receive nothing back? The answer is simple, that is impossible unless you give with fear or resentment. The law of circulation cannot fail because it is not your invention, it is divine order. But it requires joyful release. The vibration of the giver determines the return. Give with worry and you circulate worry. Give with joy and you circulate joy. And here lies the paradox: the more freely you release, the more freely money finds its way back to you. Like the tide, it must return, but it returns stronger, higher, fuller. Pause again. Hear the water rushing around this gate. Place your hand upon your chest and decree, I am a fountain, not a jar. Money flows through me and back to me in endless increase. The gate responds. It swings wide, releasing a wave of shimmering light flowing around your feet, washing you in joy. You step through, and the current carries you forward, not away, but deeper into prosperity's stream. Behind you lies the word, your decree. Around you flows circulation, your release. Ahead, a new atmosphere awaits. The air thickens with dreamlike light colors swirling, as though you stand inside imagination itself. This is the third gate, the law of assumption. But before we move forward, pause once more. Seal this truth in your heart. Prosperity is not clutching, it is circulating. To block the flow is to block life itself. To release is to live in the divine rhythm of wealth. Now let us walk toward the dreamlit gate where assumption becomes reality. We leave behind the flowing waters of the second gate and approach a new threshold. This one is unlike the others. It glows as though painted with light itself. Murals shimmer across its surface, showing scenes not of what is, but of what can be. Mansions glisten, tables overflow with feasts. Men and women walk clothed in elegance and dignity. You feel as though you are stepping into a dream. This is the third gate of prosperity, the law of assumption. The law of assumption teaches us a divine paradox. To receive wealth, you must live as though it is already yours. You do not wait to be rich in order to feel rich. You feel rich first, and then wealth appears in your reality. Florence Scovel Shinn taught the invisible forces are ever working for the man who is always acting his part. She knew that assumption is not make-believe, it is creation. To assume wealth is to step into its vibration, its identity, its reality before the evidence arrives. Let us pause here. Imagine a great theater. On stage, an actor steps into a role. At first, he is only pretending. But as he repeats the part, embodying it fully, something shifts. The role becomes real, not only to the audience, but to the actor himself. So it is with assumption. You assume the role of the wealthy one, and soon life rearranges to match your performance. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. The law of assumption is not about showing off or boasting. It is about embodying truth before it materializes. To assume is to declare, "This is who I am," even if the evidence has not yet caught up. Think of Cynthia Stafford, who once imagined herself winning $112 million in the lottery. She did not simply wish she lived the reality in her imagination. She pictured holding the check, felt the weight of it in her hands, and believed it so strongly that when the win came, it was no surprise. She had already lived it. That is assumption. Now let us practice together. Close your eyes. See yourself as wealthy, not in the distant future now. Picture your home filled with beauty. Hear the sound of laughter at your table, the clinking of glasses, the music of joy. Feel the fabric of your clothing, rich, elegant, perfectly fitted. Smell the fragrance of flowers arranged in your living room, delivered weekly because you can. Now breathe it in. Do not say someday. Say, "This is me now. I live in abundance. I walk as wealth." Open your eyes. That feeling, that shift is assumption. The universe is already adjusting to meet the role you have chosen. But beware, disobedience to this law is easy. Doubt whispers, "Who are you to pretend? Look at your bank account." But the law of assumption replies, "I do not wait for evidence. I create evidence." To doubt is to assume lack. To fear is to assume failure. Every thought is assumption, conscious or unconscious. That is why vigilance is needed. Let me give you another metaphor. Imagine a sculptor who, before striking the marble, sees the figure already complete inside the stone. He does not chip aimlessly. He assumes the finished form, and his hands follow. So too must you assume the finished picture of your wealth, and your actions will align accordingly. Daily practice each morning before stepping into your day. Choose one detail of your wealthy life and live it in imagination. Do not simply think it, feel it. If your desire is financial freedom, imagine opening your banking app and seeing overflowing numbers. If your desire is generosity, picture yourself writing a check for a cause you love, smiling as you send it. The detail does not matter, only the feeling. Say with me now, "I assume my wealth. I live as the wealthy one. Evidence follows my imagination." Yes, feel that. The more often you repeat it, the more natural it becomes, until assumption no longer feels like pretending. It feels like truth. Let me share a story of a woman named Mariah. She longed to leave her low-paying job, but felt trapped. Then she discovered the law of assumption. Each day she dressed as though she already worked in the high-level positions she desired. She walked with confidence, spoke with authority, and assumed the role of the successful woman she longed to be. Within 6 months, she received an offer for the very position she had envisioned. She had lived it before it arrived. This law is not fantasy, it is preparation. By assuming the role, you prepare the environment for wealth to land. It is as if you are setting the table for a guest. If the guest arrives and the table is bare, they hesitate. But if the table is beautifully set, the guest feels welcomed. Wealth is that guest. Assumption sets the table. Now let us seal this gate. Place your hand upon your heart and speak, I no longer wait. I no longer beg. I assume wealth now, and life rearranges to meet me. The gate responds. The dreamlike murals shift, and you step through. The colors swirl around you, settling into your very skin. You are no longer the one who waits. You are the one who already is. Ahead, you hear laughter and rhythm, as though a joyful choir is singing. This is the fourth gate, the law of tithing with the word. But before we move on, remember, the law of assumption is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual certainty. You are not becoming wealthy, you already are. The evidence will catch up, but the truth has already begun. Now let us walk toward the gate of joyful release and multiplied return. The dream colors of assumption fade, and before us rises the fourth gate of prosperity. It is alive with music. The very air vibrates with joy like a choir of unseen voices singing in harmony. The gate itself is covered in golden inscriptions that seem to dance words lifting off the surface like notes in a song. This is the law of tithing with the word a law, both ancient and ever new, teaching us that giving is not loss, but multiplication, and that the spoken word seals the return. In every spiritual tradition, tithing is a principle of release, give a portion, and abundance returns multiplied. But here is the deeper revelation: giving is incomplete without the word. When you release your tithe, your offering, your contribution, you must also decree its return. For the universe is activated not by silent action alone, but by action clothed in the spoken decree. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Words and thoughts are a form of dynamic energy ever ready to manifest. When we give with words of lack, I'll never see this again, the energy dies. But when we give with words of faith, this multiplies and returns to me. We set divine law in motion." Imagine a farmer scattering seed in the soil. He does not mutter, "Well, I'll probably never see this again." No, he declares harvest. He trusts the law of the earth. So too must you trust the law of heaven. Every act of giving is a seed, and every word of decree is the water that ensures its growth. Let me give you an example. A man once told me, "I've tithed for years, but nothing changed." I asked, "When you gave, what words did you speak?" He hesitated. "I didn't say anything, I just gave." There was his answer. He had planted seed but never watered it. He began declaring over every tithe, "As I release it, returns multiplied. This seed is blessed. My harvest is certain." Within months, unexpected contracts arrived, debt cleared, and he laughed as he realized it was always the word that completed the act. Let us practice this together. Imagine giving money, whether to a cause, a person, or a community. As you release it, say aloud, "I release this money with joy. It returns to me multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Feel the rhythm of that decree. It is not heavy, it is joyful. Giving is not loss, it is dance. Think of it as music. When you tithe, you strike a note. When you decree, you sing the melody. The two together create harmony, and prosperity responds with a full orchestra of return. Without the word, the note fades quickly. With the word, the music builds into symphony. Now let us address the shadow side. Many give with fear, with resentment. They think, "If I don't give, I'll be cursed." That is not divine tithing, that is bondage. True tithing is joyful, free, overflowing. If the gift is forced, it carries no song. If the word is resentful, it bears no harvest. The law of tithing with the word is about joy, joyful release, joyful decree, joyful expectation. Consider a woman named Leela. She had little to give, yet she longed to test this law. Each week, she gave a small amount, tiny in number, but rich in faith. She always paired it with the same decree: this multiplies as it leaves and returns tenfold. Within a year, her income had more than doubled. Why? Because she gave not from fear, but from joy, and her word commanded multiplication. Let us pause here for a declaration you can use each time you give. I tithe with joy. My seed is blessed. My return is certain. Say it until it sings within you. Let it be rhythm like the beating of a drum, like the clap of hands in a song. There is a divine rhythm in prosperity. Give, decree, receive, repeat. It is circular, not linear. You do not give once and stop. You enter a flow. Each release creates more. Each word calls more. Each harvest expands into greater giving. The law of tithing with the word is not a one-time practice. It is a lifetime rhythm. Now picture yourself at this gate. The inscriptions lift off the golden surface like musical notes swirling around you. They are words of blessing, multiply, return, overflow, joy. They enter your very body until you cannot help but laugh. You realize prosperity is not solemn, it is celebration. To give is to dance with the divine. As you step through the gate, the music follows you and you find yourself smiling. Ahead, a new sound emerges, not music this time, but resonance, harmony, the steady hum of agreement. The fifth gate, the law of agreement, awaits. But before we move forward, let us seal this truth. My giving is never loss. My word seals my harvest. I give with joy and I receive with joy. The fourth gate swings wide, and you are carried forward by laughter, by song, by abundance already returning. The laughter and song of the fourth gate fade, replaced by a steady vibration, low, resonant, harmonious. It is as though the very air is humming, tuned like the strings of a perfect instrument. Before you stands the fifth gate of prosperity, the gate of agreement. Its golden surface shimmers with twin patterns, thought and word, intertwining like strands of light merging into one. This is the law of agreement. Prosperity requires harmony. When thought says one thing and word says another, the gates remain shut. But when thought and word unite, when inner belief and outer decree sing the same note, the law is activated and wealth flows without resistance. Florence Scovel Shinn often taught that faith and words must agree. To declare wealth while secretly fearing lack is to strike a discordant note. Imagine an orchestra where one violin plays the melody, but the others play off key. The music collapses. Agreement is the tuning of your inner and outer instruments until they resonate as one. Pause here. Reflect for a moment. What do you say about money in public, and what do you secretly think in private? Do they match? Or is there contradiction? This law calls you to alignment, not partial, not occasional, but complete. Let me give you an example. A man once came to me eager to affirm his prosperity. He said all the right words: I am wealthy. Money flows to me. But in quiet moments, he confessed, I don't really believe this. It feels like lying. His words and thoughts were at war. I told him agreement is not pretending. Agreement is training. He began gently shifting his inner dialogue, replacing I can't with I can, I doubt with I trust. Slowly his thoughts aligned with his spoken word. Within months, the outer world followed. Agreement is power multiplied. Scripture tells us, if two of you agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done. But the greatest agreement begins within. When your inner thought and outer word clasp hands, they form a covenant that heaven cannot ignore. Let us practice now. Place one hand on your head, one on your mouth, and decree, "My thoughts agree with my words. I think wealth. I speak wealth. I live wealth." Did you feel the resonance that is harmony? That is agreement. The law of agreement also applies beyond the self. Who you agree with matters. If you surround yourself with voices of fear and lack, you unconsciously align with their decree. If you join with voices of wealth and faith, you multiply prosperity. Agreement is contagious. Choose carefully whom you harmonize with. A woman named Elena once joined a study circle where members practiced affirmations together. At first, she was skeptical, but hearing others speak with conviction shifted her own belief. Their words carried her until her own faith grew strong. Within a year, she started a successful business. Agreement had multiplied her power. Now, let me give you a metaphor. Picture a tuning fork struck in a silent room. Its vibration causes another tuning fork nearby to resonate with the same pitch. Agreement is resonance. When thought and word strike the same pitch, the universe vibrates in harmony with your decree. But beware the discord. Many unconsciously cancel their own words. They say, "I am wealthy," but then add, "Well, I hope so if I'm lucky." That small discord nullifies the decree. Agreement requires discipline, no contradictions, no canceling words. Speak wealth and think wealth until they are indistinguishable. Daily practice, choose one short decree. Perhaps I am richly supplied. Throughout the day, whenever doubt arises, repeat it until your inner thought agrees. Agreement is not instant, it is cultivated. But once reached, it becomes unshakable. Say with me now, "I erase discord. My inner voice and outer voice are one. I live in perfect agreement with prosperity." Yes, that resonance you feel is the gate unlocking. Now picture the fifth gate opening. The twin patterns of light merge completely, forming a single radiant beam that shines forward. You step through and you feel stronger, steadier, no longer divided within yourself. You are aligned, whole, powerful. Ahead, the air shifts again. A great mirror rises in the distance, reflecting not your current self, but your truest self, the wealthy, capable, worthy one you were always meant to be. This is the sixth gate, the law of identity. But before we go, let us seal the law of agreement with a final decree. I am one voice. My thought and word agree. Therefore, prosperity obeys. The resonance deepens, the harmony settles into your bones, and the fifth gate closes behind you. You walk forward, ready to meet the truth of who you are. The resonance of agreement fades as you step forward. Before you rises a towering mirror framed in gold and light. Yet, it does not merely reflect your outer form. No, this mirror reveals your inner essence, your divine self. As you gaze, you see not who you have been, but who you truly are, strong, radiant, clothed in wealth and dignity. This is the sixth gate of prosperity, the law of identity. The law of identity declares, you cannot hold what you do not believe yourself to be. Prosperity is not something you chase, it is something you embody. If you see yourself as poor, unworthy, or small, even great riches will slip through your fingers. But if you know yourself as wealthy in essence, prosperity clings to you, magnetized by identity. Florence Scovel Shinn often taught, man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. This law is the core of that truth. The world does not give you what you wish, it gives you what you are. Pause and consider, who are you in relation to money? Are you its beggar pleading for scraps? Or are you its master calling it by name and watching it obey? Identity shapes reality. If you identify as broke, you magnetize lack. If you identify as wealthy, you magnetize abundance. The mirror never lies. It reflects who you believe yourself to be. Let me give you a story. A woman named Teresa inherited a small fortune, but quickly lost it all. Why? She still saw herself as the struggling servant she had always been. Her identity was lack, and wealth could not remain where lack ruled. Years later, after inner transformation, she began anew with almost nothing, but this time she saw herself as a wealthy woman worthy of increase. Within a few years, her business flourished and prosperity remained because her identity had changed. Here lies the secret. Wealth is not what you have, it is who you are. To say I am wealthy is not wishful, it is a declaration of identity. Let us practice now. Stand tall, shoulders back. Place your hand upon your chest. Say aloud, I am wealthy. I am worthy. I am the one who holds prosperity with ease. Did you notice how your posture shifted? That is the power of identity. It changes the body, the tone, the presence. Think of it like soil. Seeds of wealth may be scattered in your life, but if the soil of identity is barren, they cannot grow. When your identity is rich, every seed takes root and multiplies. The danger, of course, is false identity. Many define themselves by debt, by past mistakes, by labels others gave them. They say, I am just poor. I am not the type for wealth. Those are not facts, they are identities chosen unconsciously. The law of identity calls you to choose consciously, who am I? Now imagine standing before this golden mirror. Look closely. What do you see? Do you see the struggling self or the divine self? If you see the old self, speak over it now. That image is gone. I erase it. I stand as my true identity, abundant, worthy, wealthy. The mirror shifts, reflecting your new image stronger and brighter than before. Daily practice. Each morning, declare one sentence that affirms your wealthy identity. For example, I am a magnet for prosperity. I am worthy of every good thing. I am the steward of riches. Identity is not built in a day. It is cultivated. But each declaration chisels away the false and reveals the true. Let me anchor this with another metaphor. Imagine a king disguised as a beggar. He wanders the streets forgotten, living below his inheritance. But the moment he remembers his crown, everything changes. He does not beg, he commands. He does not fear, he reigns. So too with you. The law of identity restores your crown. I recall a man named David who lived for years saying, I am cursed with bad luck. That identity shaped every decision. When he shifted to, I am favored. I am destined for increased, doors opened. Was it magic? No, it was identity. He walked differently, spoke differently, and opportunities responded. Let us seal this gate. Repeat after me, I am not my past. I am not lack. I am wealth in essence, abundance in identity, prosperity in truth. The golden mirror shines brighter, and as you step through, you feel your spine straighten, your gaze lift. You are no longer a seeker of wealth. You are the one who is wealth. Ahead, you hear a steady drumbeat, rhythmic and unyielding. This is not music of joy or dream, but of discipline, of daily rhythm. The seventh gate, the law of obedience, awaits. But before we move on, remember the law of identity is the crown. Without it, prosperity slips away. With it, every other law anchors into permanence. Step forward now, crowned in truth, ready to hear the drum of obedience. The golden mirror fades behind you, and in its place rises the sound of a drumbeat, strong, steady, unyielding. Boom, 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 like the very pulse of the earth. You follow the rhythm, and soon you see the seventh gate. Unlike the others, it is not adorned with light or color, but with simple lines of stone carved deep and strong. This is the seventh gate of prosperity, the law of obedience. Here, the law is simple prosperity answers not only to inspiration, but to consistency. To call money once is to spark a flame. To call it daily is to build a fire that never dies. Florence Scovel Shinn taught faith without works is dead. She knew that spiritual laws must be practiced not occasionally, but faithfully. The law of obedience says, prosperity bends to the one who shows up daily, rhythmically, unwaveringly. Think of the drumbeat you hear now. It does not rush, it does not falter, it does not skip. That is obedience, steady, reliable, eternal. Without it, the other 6 laws flicker like candles in the wind. With it, they form a fire that nothing can extinguish. Pause for a moment. Ask yourself, how many times have you begun a practice of affirmation visualization or decree only to abandon it after a few days? That is disobedience to rhythm. The laws respond not to a burst of enthusiasm, but to the steady drumbeat of faith in action. Let me share a story. A man named Victor once came to me discouraged. He had declared, tithed, visualized, assumed, but only sporadically. It doesn't work for me, he said. I told him, it doesn't work because you are not consistent. You break the rhythm before the harvest arrives. He committed to 30 days of daily decrees no matter what. By day 21, opportunities opened he could not have imagined. The laws had not failed, he had failed to obey. Once he did, prosperity flowed. The law of obedience is not about harsh discipline. It is about sacred rhythm. Just as the sun rises every morning, just as the tide follows its schedule, so must your practice. Wealth honors those who honor rhythm. Let us practice together. Tap your hand gently against your chest, in rhythm with your heartbeat. Now speak. Each day I rise in obedience. Each day I speak wealth. Each day I walk in rhythm with divine prosperity. Feel the strength in that. That is the drumbeat of obedience awakening in you. Obedience is not slavery, it is mastery. The one who obeys divine law is not bound, but free. For in obedience lies predictability. Just as gravity never fails, so prosperity never fails when the laws are honored daily. Think of a garden. If you water it once, it may not survive. If you water it daily, it flourishes. So too with your declarations, your assumptions, your circulation. Obedience waters the seed until the harvest arrives. But there is a danger here. Many confuse excitement with obedience. They declare fervently one day, then neglect the practice for a week. That is not obedience, that is impulse. The law of obedience demands steadiness, not occasional passion. Daily practice, set a simple routine. Each morning, stand before a mirror, breathe deeply, and decree 3 sentences aloud. Do it at the same time each day without fail. That is obedience. Over weeks, you will see shifts. Over months, transformation. Over years, a life of unshakable wealth. Say it with me. My rhythm is wealth. My obedience is my crown. My consistency is my prosperity. Let me give you one more metaphor. Imagine a drummer in a great orchestra. The violins soar, the trumpets shine, but if the drummer falters, the whole song collapses. The drummer's steady beat anchors the music. That is obedience, it anchors the other laws. Without it, word circulation assumption, tithing agreement, and identity drift. With it, they hold together in symphony. I recall a woman named Nia who once struggled with inconsistency. She practiced affirmations only when she felt inspired. Her results were scattered, unpredictable. When she embraced obedience, choosing to practice daily, whether she felt inspired or not, her results multiplied. She realized inspiration follows obedience, not the other way around. Let us seal this gate. Tap your chest again, steady as a drum, and speak. I am consistent. I am steady. I obey the rhythm of prosperity. The stone gate shudders, then swings wide with a sound like rolling thunder. You step through, and the drumbeat enters your body steady and strong. You no longer fear inconsistency. You are rhythm itself. Now as you look ahead, something miraculous happens. You see all 7 gates at once, the word circulation assumption, tithing agreement, identity, and obedience, shining together, each one an instrument, each one a note. You hear them blending into a great orchestra, a symphony of prosperity. This is the integration of the 7. But before we move into that final unification, pause and anchor, this obedience is not heavy, it is freedom. It is the steady drumbeat that turns practices into power habits, into harvests, and scattered attempts into symphonies. Step forward now, ready to hear all 7 laws join in harmony. The drumbeat of obedience echoes into silence. You look around, and suddenly the 7 gates no longer stand in sequence. They rise together in a great circle, each one glowing, each one vibrating with its own unique tone. Word, circulation, assumption, tithing, agreement, identity, obedience. 7 distinct voices now preparing to sing as one. This is the integration of the 7 divine laws of prosperity. Individually, each law is a doorway. Together, they form a symphony. Picture an orchestra. The word strikes, like the trumpet, clear and commanding. Circulation flows like violins, fluid and endless. Assumption shimmers like flutes, dreamlike and ethereal. Tithing beats like joyful drums, rhythmic and alive. Agreement hums like cellos, resonant and grounding. Identity resounds like a French horn, strong and noble. And obedience is the conductor keeping rhythm, ensuring harmony. One instrument alone is beautiful, but the full orchestra moves the soul. So it is with these laws. One practiced occasionally may bring glimpses of abundance, but all 7 practiced in unity bring prosperity that is unshakable, unstoppable, eternal. Let us rehearse their decrees one by one as a chant, a rhythm, a weaving of sound. The law of the word, I decree wealth and wealth obeys. The law of circulation, I release and multiply. The law of assumption, I live as the wealthy one now. The law of tithing with the word, my giving is joy, my return is certain. The law of agreement, my thoughts and words are one voice of prosperity. The law of identity, I am wealth, I am worthy, I am abundance. The law of obedience, I walk in rhythm. My consistency is my crown. Now imagine speaking them not one by one, but all together, layered like voices in a great choir. Feel the resonance. This is what it means to integrate the 7 laws. Let me give you a vision. You stand in the center of these gates as they open, fully light streaming in from all sides. The currents of circulation swirl around you. The dream colors of assumption paint your skin. The music of tithing lifts your heart. The resonance of agreement hums in your bones. The mirror of identity crowns you with radiance. The drum of obedience anchors your steps. And all of it begins and ends with the word that leaves your lips. You are no longer outside seeking to enter. You are within the temple of prosperity. The 7 gates are not just before you, They are within you. Each law is written in your spirit, each decree alive in your mouth. Pause here, breathe deeply, and declare with me, I live by divine law. The 7 gates are open. My life is a symphony of prosperity. And so it is. Beloved listener, before we begin the sacred practice, let us first prepare the temple, not the temple built with stone, but the inner temple, the sanctuary of your soul. For all true demonstration begins within. The outer world is but the reflection of the inner sanctuary. When the inner is consecrated, the outer is transformed. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe deeply, letting the breath expand into your chest, into your heart, into your belly. Feel the breath as a holy wind sweeping through the corridors of your inner being, carrying away the dust of yesterday, clearing the air, preparing the space. See before you a doorway. It is tall, radiant, shimmering with light. On the doorway are written words in golden script. This is the gate of infinite supply. As you approach, the door opens effortlessly and you step inside. You find yourself in a vast and quiet temple. The air is fragrant as though flowers unseen are blooming around you. The floor glimmers as if woven from pearl and starlight. Soft chimes echo gentle and clear, calling you inward, calling you home. In this temple, there are no burdens, no debts, no fears, no delays. Only divine order, only peace, only abundance waiting to be claimed. This is the true treasury of heaven, and it belongs to you now and forever. Pause and breathe. Let the stillness enter you. Let the peace clothe you like a robe. Let the silence speak louder than the noise of the world. And here in this inner temple, we prepare for practice. We prepare for morning declarations, the first words of the day. For the words you speak in the dawn become the architects of your destiny. Just as the rising sun determines the brightness of the day, so too do your first words set the course of your abundance. Repeat gently after me. This is the day the Lord has made. I rejoice, I prosper, I am supplied. The morning opens with mercy, and mercy brings my miracles. Every word I speak today shapes golden pathways of supply. Let these words be your first breath upon waking. Let them ring in your inner temple before the world has the chance to speak to you. Now let us bless the instruments of your earthly exchange. Take your wallet in your hands or imagine it resting in your palms. See it filled with light. Whisper softly, you are a vessel of endless supply. Money comes to you in divine order. Money stays with you in divine order. Money multiplies in divine order. If you hold your bank card, bless it now. This card is a key to open doors of supply. No door is closed to me. Divine abundance flows wherever I go. If you hold a coin or a bill, lift it gently and affirm, every dollar I see is a messenger of wealth. Every coin I touch multiplies like loaves and fishes. I honor the circulation of money, for it returns to me, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Bless what you have, for what you bless increases. What you curse shrivels. What you fear flees. What you love multiplies. Therefore, love the instruments of supply. Love them into expansion. Now see the altar at the center of your inner temple. Upon it is placed a bowl of living light. Place your wallet, your card, your coin upon that altar in your imagination. Watch as they are bathed in golden fire. The fire does not consume, it consecrates. It makes holy. It transforms what was ordinary into a vessel of the extraordinary. Listen, the chimes ring again. The light grows brighter. The temple begins to hum with living energy. You are surrounded, enveloped, infused with divine supply. You are not separate from it. You are one with it. You are the very place where supply becomes visible. And so you declare, I am the temple of wealth. I am the altar of abundance. I am the door through which supply appears. All that I need is already here and more besides. Remain in this vision. Feel the warmth. Feel the peace. This is not imagination, it is activation. What you see within will be mirrored without. When you leave this practice, you carry the temple with you. You are the walking sanctuary. Wherever you go, heaven goes. Wherever you speak, heaven speaks. Wherever you bless, heaven multiplies. So, beloved, the temple is ready. The morning is blessed. The instruments are consecrated. You are clothed in peace. And now we move to the next, unveiling the sacred sentence of wealth, the key that turns the lock of supply in 24 hours. Beloved listener, now that the inner temple is prepared and your instruments of supply are blessed, we come to the unveiling of a mystery. Every teaching has its heart, its pearl, its single seed from which the entire harvest grows. And in this practice, that pearl is what I call the sacred sentence of wealth. Listen closely, for what I share now is not theory, not poetry alone. It is a divine tool, sharpened by faith, polished by truth, and placed into your hands. It is a sentence so simple that the mind may overlook it, yet so powerful that the soul cannot resist its vibration. This sentence, spoken with rhythm and faith, is designed to bring demonstration within 24 hours. Yes, 24 hours. Not someday, not one day, not when conditions are right. For in the divine order, conditions are always right. Heaven is never delayed, it is only awaited. And the sacred sentence is the knock at the door, the turning of the key, the call that summons supply into view. Pause. Breathe. Let the air carry away doubt. Feel anticipation rising. We are about to unveil the key. But before I speak, let me tell you a story. There was once a woman who lived in a small room, uncertain of her future, burdened with debt and weary of struggle. She had tried many things, read many books, spoken many affirmations, yet her demonstrations seemed delayed. Her purse was empty, her heart heavy. One morning in prayer, she received the sacred sentence. She spoke it aloud with rhythm, with faith, not as a wish, but as a decree. She repeated it throughout the day, even as she walked, even as she worked, letting the words become the drumbeat of her steps. That very afternoon, a letter arrived. Within it was an unexpected check, more than enough to cover her rent with abundance left over. She wept with joy, knowing that the law had answered. And from that day forward, she never doubted the sentence, for she had proved it. Beloved, her story is not hers alone. It is yours. The law of demonstration is not selective. What it has done for one, it does for all. What you decree with faith, you will see with clarity. And so now, the unveiling. Speak this with me slowly, as though each word is a bell ringing in your soul. Wealth of God, appear now. Supply of heaven, flow now. By divine right, I receive now. Say it again with rhythm, letting the words fall like a steady drum beat. Wealth of God, appear now. Supply of heaven, flow now. By divine right, I receive now. This is the sacred sentence of wealth. Threefold, clear, irresistible. Wealth of God, appear now, for wealth is not of man, not of toil, not of chance. It is of God, and it is infinite. To command it to appear is not arrogance, but alignment. Supply of heaven, flow now. Supply is not stagnant. It is a river, a current, a flow. And when you call it, it moves. It finds you. It surrounds you. It carries what belongs to you. By divine right, I receive now for what you receive in divine. Right cannot be taken away, cannot be delayed, cannot be diminished. It is yours forever. Now let us practice together. Speak it 3 times with the rhythm of the breath. Inhale, exhale as you speak. Wealth of God, appear now. Inhale, exhale, supply of heaven, flow now. Inhale, exhale, by divine right, I receive now. Again and again, until the words are no longer outside you, but inside you. Until the sentence is not spoken by you, but spoken through you. Pause and notice how you feel. There is a stirring, a quickening, a subtle shift. This is the seed taking root. The 24-hour demonstration begins the moment you align with this rhythm. But I must say this clearly, the words are not magic unless spoken with faith. Faith is the fire that lights the torch. Words without faith are paper without flame. But words with faith, they are the very decree of heaven. So speak it with conviction, speak it with rhythm. Speak it until your heart beats with its cadence, and then release it. Do not clutch, do not worry. Let the sentence work for you, just as the seed works in the soil without strain. Another testimony. A man once came to me with a need. He was facing foreclosure, his business faltering. He spoke the sacred sentence as I instructed, rhythmically, faithfully throughout one day. That evening, his phone rang with news of a long-delayed contract suddenly approved. His business was saved, his home secured. He later said, "It was as if heaven itself rushed to meet me." Beloved, heaven always rushes to meet the decree of faith. The law is exact. The law is immediate. The law is love. Now it is your turn. You who are listening, yes, you are invited to claim your 24-hour turnaround. If you are ready, speak the sacred sentence once more with me, but this time, with full authority. Wealth of God, appear now. Supply of heaven, flow now. By divine right, I receive now, and so it is. Now as we transition, let me invite you, if you are ready to claim your 24-hour turnaround, type in the comments these words: I claim it now. Let your decree be public, for what is declared openly takes deeper root. Heaven honors the spoken word, and so too does the world. Beloved, the temple is prepared. The sacred sentence is unveiled. The law is set in motion. And now we move to the next great practice, the rhythm of daily declarations, where the 7 laws are woven into your every breath and every fear is replaced with truth. Beloved listener, we now enter the heart of the practice, the daily declarations. Here, you will speak not as one who is begging, nor as one who is uncertain, but as one who knows. For the daily declarations are not prayers of hope, they are decrees of law. They are the hammer striking the anvil, shaping the invisible into the visible. They are the rhythm by which heaven and earth align in your favor. And so we begin. Remember, these declarations are not recited mechanically. They are breathed, spoken, released with faith. Each one is tied to one of the 7 laws of demonstration, and together they weave a net of supply so strong that no lack can slip through. I will speak them and then pause for you to repeat aloud. Let your voice fill the room, for sound carries power. Call and response, decree and echo. This is how truth is driven deep into the soul. The law of substitution. The first law is the law of substitution. You cannot hold 2 thoughts at the same time. When fear arises, you replace it with truth. Declare with me, fear is a lie. Truth is my supply. I do not bow to lack. I rise in abundance. Every fearful thought dissolves in the light of divine truth. Now imagine a fearful thought, perhaps of unpaid bills. or delayed income. See it appear before you like a shadow. Then with your declaration, watch it vanish, dissolved by light. Speak again firmly, I substitute fear with faith. I substitute doubt with decree. I substitute lack with limitless supply. Pause, breathe. The substitution is done. The law of prosperity. The second law is the law of prosperity. Nature abhors a vacuum. When something leaves, something greater must enter. Repeat with me, I release the old. I welcome the new. What is mine by divine right can never be withheld. Every door I release opens to a greater door of supply. If you are holding on to worry debt or memories of failure, let them go now. Stretch your hands outward as if opening them to release. Then draw them back to your heart, receiving. Speak again, I let go, and I receive more than I can imagine. The law of non-resistance. The third law is the law of non-resistance. What you resist persists, but what you bless dissolves. Say aloud, I resist nothing. I bless everything. I am not against lack. I am for abundance. I do not fight shadows. I turn on the light. Pause. Imagine the very thing you once resisted, be it a debt, a person, a delay. Instead of resisting, speak blessing over it. I bless you, and I release you. I see only divine supply flowing to me, and it is done. The law of attraction. The fourth law is the law of attraction. Like attracts like. What you decree, you draw. Repeat, I attract what I am, not what I fear. I am the magnet of wealth, drawing riches to me now. My thoughts are golden, my words are magnets, my faith is irresistible. Pause. Feel yourself glowing with radiant light like a sun. See coins, bills, contracts, opportunities all drawn to you as iron to a magnet. Smile and say aloud, I am irresistible to wealth, and wealth is irresistible to me. The law of faith. The fifth law is the law of faith. Faith sees the invisible, calls the absent as though present. Speak with me, I walk by faith, not by sight. I call the unseen into the seen now. My supply is already here, waiting for my decree. Now close your eyes. Picture the very thing you desire, money in your account, debt dissolved, opportunities flooding in. See it as already done. Touch it in your imagination. Then say, it is finished. It is mine now. The law of right action. The sixth law is the law of right action. Obedience creates rhythm. Each small act of alignment opens the next door. Repeat, I am guided to right action in perfect timing. I hear the voice of divine wisdom behind me saying, this is the way, walk in it. I do the right thing in the right way at the right time, and I prosper. Pause. Ask within, what is my next right action? Listen quietly. The answer may come as a whisper, a nudge, a picture. Trust it. Then declare, I obey without delay. I align without excuse. My obedience opens my supply. The law of giving and receiving. The seventh law is the law of giving and receiving. What you send out returns multiplied. Say it aloud, I give joyfully. I receive abundantly. My gift makes way for me. My giving returns pressed down, shaken together, running over. As I release, I am increased. Pause. Picture yourself giving not out of fear, but out of joy. A coin, a bill, a kind word, a blessing. See it released, and then see it return multiplied, a river flowing back to you. Declare again, I give in love and I receive in overflow. Beloved, together, these are the 7 laws woven into your daily declarations. Each morning, each night, you may speak them aloud, weaving them into your very rhythm of breath and thought. But now we deepen the practice with a substitution exercise. I will speak a fear, and you will replace it with truth. Fear says, I cannot pay my bills. Truth says, every bill is paid in divine order easily and joyfully. Fear says, there is not enough. Truth says, there is always more than enough. I live in overflow. Fear says, wealth is for others, not for me. Truth says, I am one with the wealth of God. What is mine cannot be withheld. Fear says, it takes too long. Truth says, demonstration is instant. Supply is now. Each time a fear arises in your life, stop, substitute, and speak. In this way, your mind becomes a garden of truth where no weeds of lack can root. Now, let us seal this with a rhythm of affirmations. Speak after me with strong cadence, as though each word is a stone laid in the foundation of your temple. I am wealth. I am supply. I am abundance in form. Money loves me, and I love money's flow. Opportunities chase me down, and blessings overtake me. I am fearless, I am faithful, I am free. I am aligned with heaven's riches now and always. Repeat them 3 times, letting the rhythm carry you like waves upon the shore. Feel your heart rise. Feel your soul burn with certainty. This is the practice of daily declarations. This is how fear is silenced, how truth is enthroned, how heaven is brought into earth through your words. Beloved, as you speak these declarations each day, you will find your life transforming not by effort, but by alignment. You will see doors open, debts dissolve, contracts appear, money flow, opportunities multiply. For the law cannot fail, and the word cannot return void. And now, with your declarations alive in your spirit, we prepare for the next teaching, the rhythm of obedience, where your practice becomes not only daily, but disciplined, steady, and unstoppable. Beloved, you have spoken the sacred sentence. You have declared the daily affirmations. Now we step into the great secret that sustains all demonstration, the rhythm of obedience. Listen carefully. Wealth is not unlocked by emotion. It is not secured by a fleeting feeling, nor by waiting for inspiration to strike. Wealth is unlocked by rhythm, by steady alignment, by obedience to divine law, even when the feelings are absent. Hear this phrase and let it engrave itself upon your heart. Not feeling, but aligning. Say it with me, not feeling, but aligning. Not emotion, but obedience. Not mood, but decree. This is the heartbeat of manifestation. For if you wait for feelings, you will be inconsistent. If you wait for moods, you will be unstable. But if you obey the rhythm, as the sun obeys its rising and the moon its waxing, you will prosper without fail. Close your eyes now. Hear within your soul the sound of a drum. Slow, steady, constant. Boom, boom, boom. The drum beat never falters. It is the rhythm of heaven. It is the heartbeat of supply. Now match your words to that beat. Say with me each phrase, falling on the steady rhythm. Wealth flows to me. Boom. Supply obeys me. Boom. By divine right I receive. Boom. Again, let the cadence engrave itself. Words spoken in rhythm take root deeper than words spoken in haste. This is why chants and hymns endure. They are carried by rhythm. And so your wealth is carried by rhythm, the rhythm of obedience. Beloved, imagine yourself as a warrior of light, clothed in shining armor. In one hand, the sword of the word. In the other, the shield of faith. You march forward, not wavering, not rushing, but step by step, each footfall aligned with the beat of heaven. Hear the drum. Step in rhythm. Say aloud, I march in obedience. I march in alignment. I march in victory. The warrior does not ask, do I feel like marching today? The warrior obeys the command. And in the same way, you do not ask, do I feel like affirming today? You affirm because it is your weapon, your shield, your armor. Remember, not feeling but aligning. All prosperity rests upon habit. Just as the farmer tills the soil daily whether sun shines or clouds gather, so too must you sow your words daily. Declare with me, I keep the rhythm, and the rhythm keeps me. My habits are holy. My rhythm is wealth. I do not break the chain of obedience. Imagine a golden chain linking each day of your practice. Each link is strong. Each declaration you make is another link. Break one and the chain weakens. But keep the chain unbroken and it becomes unbreakable. Beloved, your wealth does not appear because of one day's decree. It appears because the decree becomes a rhythm, a song, a steady pulse. Let me tell you of a man who practiced. He spoke his declarations one day, and nothing seemed to happen. He spoke them the next, and still the silence remained. But he kept the rhythm. Morning by morning, night by night, his words became steady, unwavering. Then, on the 21st day, the door burst open. A job offer came unexpected higher in pay than he had dared to ask. He later said it was not the first word, nor the second, but the rhythm of obedience that opened heaven. Do you see, beloved? The rhythm wears down the wall of resistance. The rhythm breaks open the dam. The rhythm brings the flood. Let me ask you, do you sometimes wake weary? Do you sometimes feel doubt? Do you sometimes wonder if it is working? That is why you must remember, not feeling, but aligning. Say it again with me. Not feeling, but aligning. Not feeling, but aligning. Not feeling, but aligning. Your emotions are weather. They come and go. But alignment is the climate, the steady atmosphere of truth. Do not be governed by the weather of feeling, but by the climate of faith. Some think obedience is restriction, but in divine law, obedience is freedom. The river is free because it obeys its banks. The star is free because it obeys its orbit. The tree is free to bear fruit because it obeys the law of seasons. And you are free because you obey the rhythm of wealth. Say it aloud. My obedience is my freedom. My rhythm is my release. My alignment is my abundance. Do not confuse obedience with struggle. Struggle is effort without alignment. Obedience is ease within rhythm. It is not hard to breathe. It is natural. So too, obedience to law becomes natural when practiced. Beloved, you are not walking alone. As you hear these words, thousands march with you. Imagine it a great multitude, all clothed in light, stepping together to the drumbeat of heaven. Boom, boom, boom. Wealth flows to us. Supply obeys us. By divine right, we receive. This is not your rhythm alone, it is ours. The power multiplies when spoken together. What you align with now is not only your own decree, but the decree of the collective. Now let us mark this rhythm together. If you are one who chooses obedience over emotion, type the number 1 in the comments. If you are one who chooses alignment over feeling, type the number 2. Let the numbers themselves become a drumbeat, a visible sign of rhythm. As you type, you are declaring, I march, I align, I obey the rhythm of wealth. Beloved, the rhythm of obedience is the golden chain, the warrior's march, the drumbeat of heaven. You no longer wait on feeling. You no longer bow to mood. You are steady. You are aligned. You are victorious. And now, with this rhythm alive in you, we move to the final chapter of this journey, the great collective activation, where not only you, but the entire community is blessed, sealed, and sent forth in wealth. Beloved, we have walked together through the temple. We have spoken the sacred sentence. We have declared the 7 laws. We have stepped into the rhythm of obedience. Now we come to the great crescendo, the collective activation, the closing benediction. Here, your voice is not alone. Here, your decree is joined by thousands. Imagine this as you speak. Countless others across time and space are speaking with you. You are not a single flame. You are part of a blazing fire. And in this fire, wealth is forged, supply is multiplied, destiny is sealed. Close your eyes. See yourself standing in the great inner temple once more. But this time, you are not alone. All around you, stretching beyond sight, are men and women clothed in light, each holding a torch. Some you know. Some you do not. Some are near, some far. But all are joined by one spirit, one law, one decree. Listen, the temple is alive with sound. A low hum grows swelling, rising until it becomes a mighty song. The song is the voice of the collective declaring wealth, calling forth supply. You add your voice, and it merges with theirs. Together, the sound rises, wealth is here, supply is now. By divine right we receive. The walls of the temple shine brighter, the torches blaze higher. Heaven bends low to hear the chorus of faith. Now, beloved, stretch your hand outward in blessing. See your hand glowing with light. As you extend it, you bless not only yourself, but the community listening with you. Speak aloud, I bless every soul listening now. I bless their finances, their homes, their families. I bless their wallets, their cards, their accounts. I bless their opportunities, their contracts, their promotions. See the blessing ripple outward like waves upon the sea. With every wave, doors open for others. Debts dissolve. Checks arrive. Contracts are signed. Opportunities appear. And as you bless them, you too are blessed. For blessing others is the highest circulation of wealth. Say it with me: as I bless, I am blessed. As I give, I receive. As I decree for others, it manifests for me. Now we seal the activation with sacred repetition. Together, we will speak not once, not twice, but 7 times, for 7 is the number of completion, perfection, fulfillment. Say after me with authority: wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. Wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. Wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. Wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. Wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. Wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. Wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. Wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. Pause. Feel the silence after the 7th decree. The silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is the silence of completion of heaven nodding in agreement. Now we join in a single declaration. Imagine the sound of thousands, tens of thousands, all speaking with you, their voices mingling, their decrees multiplying. Together we say, we are wealthy now, we are supplied now, we are aligned now. Again, we are wealthy now, we are supplied now, we are aligned now. This is not just affirmation. This is activation. The law is stirred. The river is released. The supply is flowing, not tomorrow, not later now. Beloved, let me speak a blessing over you as a seal upon this journey. May your morning words be golden keys that open doors no man can shut. May your wallet, your purse, your account overflow with unexpected increase. May every bill dissolve into nothingness and every debt be erased. May opportunities chase you down and contracts find you without delay. May the rhythm of obedience keep you steady, unshaken, unwavering. And may your wealth not only bless you, but ripple outward to bless your family, your community, your world. Hear these words, for they are true. You are not a seeker of wealth. You are the embodiment of wealth. You are not waiting for supply. You are the place where supply appears. You are not hoping for abundance. You are abundance in form. So walk forth clothed in light, carrying the temple within you. Wherever you go, wealth goes. Wherever you speak, supply flows. Wherever you bless, heaven multiplies. Beloved, the practice is complete, but the journey continues. Each day you will speak, each day you will align, each day you will demonstrate. For this is not a moment, it is a rhythm. Not a lesson, it is a life. And now, let us close as we began in peace, in certainty, in wealth. Together, one last time with the voice of the collective, speak aloud. Wealth is not earned, it is aligned. Wealth is not delayed, it is now. And so it is.